Hey, this is Rick Kasalich, injury specialist from exercisesforinjuries.com. In today's video, I want to go through the best back pain exercises. And Jenna's going to go through the first exercise, then I'll show you 4 more. There we go. The first one ends up being a cat-cow exercise. So with this one, you're in a 4-point position. So hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. You're going to drop the head, round out the mid-back, round out the lower back, tilt the pelvis back. You're going to hold that position for a second, and then you're going to go the opposite direction. Bring that head up, dropping the shoulders, tilting the pelvis, dropping that stomach, holding for a second, then moving the opposite direction. Perfect. And then I'll get you to move right here. Good. So rounding out, and then dropping and arching through. Perfect. So looking at the sets, reps, time, and intensity for this one, sets are 1, repetitions would be 5 each direction. Time, smooth controlled movement with a good stop at the top position, and the intensity is light. With this one, we're focusing on mobility throughout that whole spine area, because a lot of times when it relates to back pain, that back pain is related to stiffness and tightness in the spine. And with this mobility exercise, we're working on loosening things up, which will help when it relates to overcoming your back pain. Now moving on to the second exercise, down dog into plank. So there's that down dog position, moving into that plank, and then back into that down dog position. Good, back into that plank, good. So looking at the starting position, you're in that push-up or plank position. You're tight in the abdominal area. Legs are about hip-width apart, and then you're gonna bring the hips back, push through the arms, and go in that down dog position. Hold that for a second, and then come back into that straight arm plank position. Perfect. And then I'll get you to face this way. Good. Down dog and then into the plank. Perfect. Now looking at the sets, reps, time, and intensity for this one, sets are 1, repetitions would be 5, time would be smooth controlled movement with a good stop at the end position, 1 to 2 seconds. And with this one, the intensity is light. We're mainly focusing on working the core abdominal area, also working on the flexibility in the shoulders and the core in the shoulders as it relates to the shoulder blade muscles. Now moving on to the third one. So this is the glute bridge. So you're gonna move on to your back, hands are to the side, you're gonna push through the heels, bring the hips up, you're in a nice straight line through here, you're gonna hold it for a second, and then come back down. So looking at the setup, you're lying on your back, hands are to the side, you're relaxed in the upper body, legs are about hip-width apart, you're gonna tighten that abdominal area, and you're gonna push through the heels, bring the hips up to a point where you're in line with the knees, hips, and shoulders, and back down. And maybe I'll get face this way, perfect. And then looking at all those things again, pressing through, really working on that core abdominal area, also the hamstrings and the glutes, and back down. Now looking at the sets, reps, time, and intensity for this one, sets are 1, repetitions are 5, time, smooth controlled movement with a good stop at the top position. And when it relates to the intensity ends up being light. With this one, we're mainly targeting the core, so abdominal area. Also, it'll hit the hamstrings and the glutes. Now moving on to the fourth one, this is seated spinal twist. Good. So you're sitting cross-legged, nice and upright. You're going to rotate through the shoulders. You're going to reach with that arm, and it's going to grab the knee, and then it's going to pull you a little bit further. Good. And then back to the start, facing forward, and then grabbing and rotating a little bit further. Perfect. And maybe I'll get you to face this way and go through a couple repetitions. Now with this one, when it comes to sets, reps, time, and intensity, sets are 1, repetitions, I would go 5 on each side, time, smooth controlled movement with a good stretch at the end position, so I would say 2 to 3 seconds, and the intensity is light. We're looking at working on the mobility in the spine, specifically the mid-back, low back area, as it relates to mobility. Now moving on to that last exercise, that fifth exercise, half moon. Perfect. So with this one, starting position, you're standing, feet are together, you're nice and tall, you're going to bring the arms overhead, interlace the fingers, index fingers pointing straight up, thumbs are together, and then you're going to side bend to one side as far as you can, and then you're going to side bend to the other side. Good. And then I'll get you to face this way, Jenna. And back. Perfect. So when it relates to sets, reps, time, and intensity, for this one, sets are 1, repetitions are 5 on each side. Time, smooth, controlled movement with a good hold at the end position, 2 to 2 seconds, so you get a good stretch. Intensity is light. We're mainly working on 2 things, stretching the muscles in the outer part of the spine, and secondly, working on the mobility of the spine. So there you go, give those exercises a go. They're the best exercise when it relates to back pain exercises. Now, if you want some of my best other tips when it relates to back pain and overcoming back pain, what I recommend you do is click right here. I have a brand new free report called 5 Tips and Tricks That Fight Back Pain and Tightness. Click right here. Let me know where to send that report, and I'll send you that report right away. Now, if you're watching this on a mobile device, tablet, or smartphone, head down below in the description and click the first link, which will be exercisesforinjuries.com/backs. Let me know where to send that report, and I'll send you that report right away. Now, if you got benefit from this video, make sure to like this video. If you have a question or comment for me, leave it down below in the comment section. And lastly, hit subscribe to get future pain relieving videos.